Honorable MEC for Social Development, the Vice Chancellor of University of Venda, Deputy Vice Chancellor of University of Limpopo, and the Deputy Vice Chancellor, Teaching and Learning, University of Venda. We are now starting with our program. I will call upon Univen Choir to lead us into national anthem. Let's take off our hats, especially the males, as we are singing the national anthem. Over to you, Univen Choir, lead us. Shall we all rise? Thank you very much, Univen Choir. We can now get seated. The program director is not Dr. Zaga, but Takalani Mashao. I'll be directing this program together with Mr. T.S. Dali, Chipiwa Samuel Dali, who is the parliamentary officer of the MEC of Social Development in the Limpopo province. Without wasting time, I will call upon the Vice Chancellor and the Principal of University of Venda to come and give welcome address. Over to you, Vice Chancellor and Principal. Let's give him hands as he's coming to the podium.
Program Director, Professor Takalani Mashao, and your co-host, who will be assisting you, the MEC for Limpopo Department of Social Development, Ms. Nandi Ndalane, the Deputy Vice Chancellor for Teaching and Learning of the University of Limpopo, Professor R.N. Madaje, and the Deputy Vice Chancellor for Teaching and Learning of the University of Venda, Professor E.S. Lekalakala Mokhele, the Head of Limpopo Department of Social Development, Ms. N.D. Silatlile, the Executive Dean of the Faculty of Humanities, Social Science and Education at the University of Venda, Professor Bongani Bantwini, the representatives of the Limpopo Connection, Mr. B. Ramasovane, the Director of Limpopo Gambling Board, Mr. L. Matabane, the Head of Department of Social Work at the University of Limpopo, Professor Frank Rapulu, representative of the National School of Governance, representative of the Center for Public Innovation, members of the University of Venda senior management staff that are present here, university community, fellow social workers, and social work students, other distinguished guests and dignitaries, ladies and gentlemen. Good morning. Tobela. Aushe. Limachero. On behalf of the University of Venda management and staff, it is my greatest pleasure and a privilege to extend a warm welcome to each of you to the University of Venda and to the Vembe District municipality of our province, Limpopo. The University of Venda is honored to co-host the 2024 World Social Work Day Symposium, jointly with the University of Limpopo and the Department of Social Development of our provincial government. Our district here in the Vembe is the home of ancient civilization, which offers a profound insight into humanity, humanity's past, and also our heritage. It is a home of multilingualism and certainly a home of rich diversity of cultural heritage. I can assure you that your experience here will be invigorating and more rewarding. As one of the two universities in our province, the University of Venda has long been a beacon of hope, a place where dreams take flight and futures are shaped. The university stands tall as a testament to the power of education to transform the lives of people and to empower individuals to make a positive impact in societies. Our university is located within the UNESCO Vembe Biosphere Reserve, with a unique, rich biodiversity, which offers a remarkable advantage to leverage the region's rich biodiversity and a unique environmental context for the development of the relevant and impactful program qualification for our students. This strategic location presents a wealth of opportunities that align with our community's needs and also our entrepreneurial aspirations as a university. As our positioning statement in our current strategic plan 2025, we envision the University of Venda that has impact and relevance as an institution of higher learning. And this implies that our university should not only excel in teaching and learning, but we should also aim to be relevant and responsive to the needs and challenges of our communities around us. Hence our view that universities must be catalysts for building what we call inclusive societies, and that they should play their role as an anchor institutions for fostering social change and development wherever they're located. Key to this is our multifaceted collaborations involving government departments, municipalities, private sector businesses, international partnerships, grassroots organizations, local traditional councils, civic organizations, and other entities to amplify the impact and the reach of the university, leading into a more holistic approach to a community engagement and also the development that we seek. Program Director, it is an honor for me to join you today as we meet to reflect and celebrate this noble profession of social work, and also to mark the World Social Day today and tomorrow. As you are all aware, the central theme for 2024 World Social Work Day Symposium is as follows: Shared Future for Transformative Change. These themes emphasize the need for social workers to adopt innovative, community-led approaches that are grounded in indigenous wisdom and harmonious coexistence with nature. And ladies and gentlemen, as you have realized, social work is not merely a job. It is a calling, a commitment to serving humanity with compassion and dedication that is required. Social workers are catalysts of systemic change, advocating for policy reforms and also institutional improvements to address the root causes of social problems that are found in our societies and our communities. Social workers also are bridge builders, fostering collaborations between communities, organizations, and government agencies to create sustainable solutions for a better tomorrow. And as we have experienced here and elsewhere during the difficult times of COVID-19 pandemic, the period was characterized by many hardships, amongst them the burden of communicable diseases, poverty, inequalities, and injustices. Social workers were and are still the unsung heroes and heroines who tirelessly strive to uplift the marginalized population and advocate for the voiceless and empower the vulnerable. They are the true champions of social justice, working tirelessly to create a more equitable society for all. As we mark and celebrate the World Social Work Day, we do so by confirming our university's commitment to produce a well-rounded social work graduates who should rise to the challenge and ensure that our systems and our people are best served. Our sincere thanks to the Department of Social Work in our province, the Faculty of Humanities, Social Science and Education here at the University of Venda, and the Faculty of Social Work at the University of Limpopo for organizing and hosting this important symposium as we celebrate this important day. It is through collaborations and partnerships that we can provide a powerful approach to responding to complex problems that as isolated and as individuals, we cannot begin to resolve such challenges. We believe that this symposium will help us to highlight our university's resolve in terms of being a university that is leading into engaged scholarship and our mission of producing graduates that are locally relevant and globally competitive. In closing, Program Director, I want to express my sincere gratitude to each of you for being here today. Your presence truly enriches this symposium and contribute also to its success. Let us embrace the valuable discussions and the insights that lies ahead, and may this symposia be a source of inspiration and a collaboration for all. I'm looking forward to a very fruitful discussions to this very important subject that we are meeting to discuss in the next 2 days. And I thank you for listening.
Thank you very much, Vice Chancellor and Principal Professor Benedict Tambeleni, for welcoming address. The following item is that acknowledgement of guests. I will start with the Vice Chancellor and Principal, Professor Tambeleni, who was speaking to us here. We also have Professor Eusebia Lekalakala-Mkhale, who's the DVC Teaching and Learning at the University of Venda. We have Professor Madaje, who is the DVC Teaching and Learning at the University of Limpopo. We have Professor Bongani Bantwini, who is the Executive Dean of Faculty of Humanities, Social Sciences and Education at the University of Venda. We have the HOD of Social Development Department of the province, Ms. Dudu Sitachike, and her team. We also have interim HOD of the Department of Social Work in the University of Venda, and I believe we also have HOD of Social Work Department from the University of Limpopo. We also have the Senior Director of Social Development in the Membe District, Ms. Nkumeleni. We have Ms. Malebu Mkoni from SACSSP. We have senior officials of the Department of Social Development and also members of staff in the Department of Social Work and the Faculty of Humanities, Social Sciences and Education at the University of Venda. Colleagues, now we will have an entertainment from University of Venda Choir. very much, Union Choir. While we were still at school, I used to sing. But our teacher, who was a choir conductor, couldn't say ra, he would say ha. And then while we were practicing, he said, do he he, and the choir said, do he he, and he said, I didn't say do he he, I said do he he, and the choir used to sing do he he. Thank you very much, Reverend Choir. Now I will call upon the DVC Teacher Learning of University of Limpopo, Professor Badaje, to give message of support. Let's clap hands as he's coming.
Program Director, Professor Mashau, the Vice Chancellor of the University of Venda, Professor Tambeleni, the MEC for Social Development in Limpopo Province, the Honorable Ms. Lalane, the Acting Head of the Department of Social Development in the province, Ms. Sitatile, the DVC for Teaching and Learning at Univen, Professor Likalakala. I also include in this case Ms. Maibele, Chief Director of the Department of Social Development. I should not forget to mention Executive Deans who have joined us today, Professor Bantuini, and many others who have joined this function through the online platform. I also extend my acknowledgement to heads of departments who are present today, the directors of school. I see Professor Sitole, who is the director of the School of Social Sciences from the University of Limpopo, academics, all of them, as well as guests from non-governmental organizations. I see we have so many, and we are highly grateful for that. Students, ladies and gentlemen, all protocol observed. In this instance, I have to emulate Professor Tambeleni, Dimachelo, Abushe, Minjani, Hikona, Tobe, Likai, Ritsui, Le Ribona Lichachi, Huyamore. Lang geleden het ik Afrikaans geleerd. En ik was een goede student in Afrikaans. Well, I'll stop here. We are not here to speak about Afrikaans. But my role here, the VC of University of Venda, is to represent my VC, Professor Mahalo, from the University of Limpopo. And on his behalf, we are very grateful that we have been invited to be part of this august function today, celebrating social work, of course, internationally. One would like to say that social work does not exist in isolation. It should be rooted in the culture in which it serves. For instance, in my culture, and I trust in many African cultures as well, if you were to go to your neighbor to ask for salt, it does happen that you may lack salt whilst you are cooking delicious meat. And when you go to your neighbor to ask for salt, you don't say it directly. You start by praising him and say, your homestead is so clean. I can't even see a fly flying around. Your children are brilliant at school, they are doing very well. The whole village speaks of your children who are serving the community so well. Once you have done that, then you zoom in on your topic and say, my neighbor, I have a big pot full of meat and I intend to share it with you. But it's a pity that I don't have salt. Do you have a cup of salt for me? What is that neighbor going to do? Is he going to give him the salt or not? I think he will. And that is part of social work. To emphasize what Professor Ntambeleni said, that the social workers that we produce must be relevant to their context, whilst they are also universally effective and relevant. So these are the things that we as social workers must teach our students. And to continue on this line, I won't take long. The curriculum that we design, we produce and teach must always be up to date. Whilst we are rooted in our cultures, we should be able to use the current technology so that you become adaptable wherever you are. Whether you are in Japan or in New York or in Moscow or in London, you become relevant. And one is highly pleased to have observed academics from both universities reading their papers, excellent papers in national conferences and even international conferences on social work. And their work is known all over the world. Lastly, I simply wanted to emphasize again what Professor Ntambeleni said. Universities, as I said, do not exist in isolation. They have to cooperate with each other, like the function we are co-hosting. This is a very good example of cooperation. It's not only theoretical, but we are living it. It's practical. Therefore, ultimately, the students that we are going to produce must be caring students, must be empathetic with their stakeholders or their customers. And they must also be strictly professional. That if I were to divulge my family issues to a social worker, I should go away confident that my secret will not be divulged to anybody. And that's what we teach our students, to be fully professional in their profession, so that we can grow social work profession in leaps and bounds. Lastly, I will end this by expressing myself in Chivenda, where we have to use Ubuntu, where we say, Mutu ndi mutu ngabatu. I trust this also exists in Shitsonga. Professor Baloyi, I saw you there. Is it munu hi munu? Oh, hibangwan. Oh, it's a very good teacher. And in Northern Sotho, mutu kimutu. Oh, kabat. Which then means, if I don't associate myself like we are doing today, I'm not a person. I'm not a human being. So I'm highly privileged to see us gathering like this because mutu ndi mutu ngabantu. Ndiyalibonga.
A round of applause once more. Thank you. I answer by the name of Dalichi Piwa Samuel. I do not have a title like a professor. None of master. But very soon I'll be having a title. I am a pastor. I agree in churches. When the following week you are a pastor, the other one you are a bishop, the third week you are a doctor. So very soon I'll be doctor. Unfortunately, I'll be doctor inside the church. I wish to remind those who have got honorary doctorates that your doctorate serves you only when you are in church or in a football fraternity and not here. Thank you. People who are coming in here are from Capricorn. We need to apologize for starting before you arrived. We also apologize that we arrived earlier than you. It happens in life. You know why I'm saying this? I do not want to call the next speaker while they are still coming in and out. My mother taught me one secret. That secret is, let's give a round of applause for our female attendees here. They look so beautiful. Let's give a round of applause. Now, what my mother told me is that wherever there are more women than men, if you want to please them, even when it's not from your heart, just say they are beautiful, even when they are not beautiful. So I have proved that it's working. People are clapping hands when they realize I'm more beautiful than them. Hey, things happen. I think now we're settled, ne? Okay. It's always the case when people arrive late, you must give them the respect that they deserve. Ladies and gentlemen, I was once a student at the university here. I dropped out in 1985. So, Prof, you'll bear with me. Some protocols will be far away from me. I will try to say, Honorable M.S. Ndalan, there I'm an expert. HOD Dudu, there I'm an expert. Now, here I start flambering. Professor Ntambeleni, Vice Chancellor, I hope if I address you correctly, that's fine. Professor Madaje, and to cut matters short, when you want to undermine you in politics, I'm not undermining you. We just say, protocol observed, including everybody, Professor Mashau, the like, acting professor, protocol observed. That's how we undermine you in politics. What do? These are your people. Before you address here, I want to tell you that people who came all here can afford to buy something. Those who are objecting to the biblical quotes, I'm doing it out of context. Once upon a time, when Moses was leading the Israelites, God reminded them the following: when your stomachs are full, when you have built beautiful houses, when the pockets are full with money, when you have got disclaimer of what I'm saying, these people are very dangerous, I'm disclaiming. When you know that you are no longer going to be hungry easily, do not forget the Lord. As you stand here, HOD, I say, you have been appointed HOD, don't forget the Lord. Your task is simple: no speech, purpose, and presentation. Protocol dictates, if you continue with your speeches, I'm not like Professor Mashau, I'll come and fetch the mic like what happened in KZN. A round of applause.
Good morning, colleagues. Greetings to the representatives from the two universities, and we are very happy to be in collaboration with you in making sure that this month is noted and we have things that are happening to uplift social work. I also want to send my greetings to all the NPOs that are here. I know most of them are not yet all here, but whoever is here, I would like to say welcome and send my greetings to them. Mr. Dali, I will not forget the Lord. It's something that will not happen in this lifetime. My task here is quite small and straightforward, is to quickly just bring us on board on why are we here, and secondly, to introduce my principal, which I will just introduce now. We started off with celebrating Social Work Day with a symposium last year. So we had our first symposium last year. It was our inaugural symposium, and this is the second one that we are hosting. And this year, MEC, we have decided to join hands with the 2 universities in the province, mainly because we've got a lot of relations with them. When they do their practicals, they need us. When we need to develop new programs, we need them. So we've got a symbiotic relationship with them. So we thought it's quite a good thing that we should work with them and celebrate this year's Social Work Day based on that. Our theme this year, MEC, is Shared Future for Transformative Change. And I see all the speakers that have come before me have already talked about or touched on it, that social work is about transformation. Social work is not static. Social work does not, things that we used to do in the 50s, we don't do them the same way now. Social work changes with culture. It adopts itself to the environment that is there. So social work is very enabling and reactive to what is happening around it. So we're having this symposium, and if you go through the program, MEC, you'll see that we're trying to look at some of those issues. What is it that we need to put in place? We've invited the students so that they can learn from us. We also have invited ourselves from different programs so that we can cross-pollinate what we know about social work and share what we have, so that when these students live here, they must be empowered to be able to deal with what they're going to face out there. With those few words, colleagues and everyone else, I will ask us to stand as I present to you the MEC for the Department of Social Development in Limpopo, Me Nandine Dalan.
Thank you, sisters. I call her sisters because she's my sister, she's my daughter, and we've been working together nicely until she take over as the acting HOD. And I wish her good luck when they advertise the post and she get the post. So we must pray for her. Program Director, the Vice Chancellor of the University of Venda, Professor N.B. Tabelin, and the Vice Chancellor of the University of Limpopo, R.N. Madaje, Mewa Runa, Prof. E.S. Likalakala Mohale, and the other professors present here today. The acting HOD of the department Me Dudu Sitlachile, Okimoratang, senior management present here, distinguished guests of the social workers, all social workers, as this is your day today. I love you all. Ladies and gentlemen, and good morning. It is my singular honor and privilege to be part of this auspicious occasion as we join the global communities of social workers in celebrating World Social Work Day. I will be preaching to the converted if I were to tell you that March is a very significant period in the calendar of social workers. Since I joined the department over a year ago, it has been emphasized to me that no matter how hectic my schedule may be, I dare never to miss this critical, important occasion. I have no doubt that you are aware that we have entered the elections period in the democratic country. Moreover, you may be aware that Mondays, which is today, all Mondays, is normally dedicated to my political constituency work. I suppose not to be here, but because I respected you, I have to steal some time and come here. However, I told that this event today will take precedence because of its significant importance in the makeup of our department. I am very happy to be part of this occasion. Program Director, I stand before you this morning with a profound sense of gratitude for the crucial work that you are doing. It is my honor to address this esteemed gathering of dedicated individuals who are at the forefront of addressing social ills in our province. Many of you who work in the most rural areas of our province with little amenities remains our unsung heroes and heroines of our society. You witness firsthand the challenges faced by our most vulnerable populations, often bearing the weight and addressing complex and deep-rooted social issues. Your commitment to improving the lives of those in need, your compassion and your persistent drive to make a difference do not go unnoticed. The symposium serves as a beacon of hope and empowerment, designed to equip you with new knowledge, tools, and strategies to enhance your capacity to effect positive change in the communities you serve. The knowledge you gain here will not only strengthen your skills, but also empower you to innovate, collaborate, and be resilient in the face of adversity. Program Director, we are celebrating World Social Work Day under the theme, Shared Future for Transformative Change. Together we hold the key to driving transformative change in our society. By sharing our vision, aligning our goals, and working collaboratively, we can overcome challenges, break barriers, and create a more inclusive, equitable, and just world for every individual. Today, as we engage in meaningful discussions, exchange innovative ideas, and foster connections, let us remember the power we hold when we unite these peoples. Let our collective effort at this symposium ignite a spark that fuels positive change and paves the way for a brighter tomorrow. Program Director, I remember that in the previous year, we held this occasion in Polokwane, as we have indicated. Today, we are in this great university of our people where knowledge and reach is imparted. I have been informed that we are collaboratively engaged in this symposium with the University of Venda, University of Limpopo, as well as University of South Africa. We are grateful of this partnership and trust that it will have meaningfully impact into this critical, important profession. The department continues to grow the collaborations with a non-profit organization employing social workers and social auxiliary workers within the province to serve our communities. We therefore would like to welcome the delegates from the sector joining us today on this memorable occasion. Amongst us here, I am informed that we have colleagues from the Department of Health and Correctional Services. You are welcome, and I trust that through this symposium, we will strengthen our relationship and collaborate at technical level for the benefit of our client. Program Director, I do not plan to address you longer than it is necessary. However, let me indicate that during last year's symposium, there were resolutions which emanate from this engagement. Amongst the resolutions, the symposiums agreed that the budget for debriefing sessions will be a standing departmental item for social workers responding to disasters and trauma in the communities. Working conditions will be in compliance with occupational health and safety standards, and further that the department's partnership with tertiary institutions for aggregated capacity building will be maintained. Our acting head of the department, May Dudu, is the social worker in chief. I trust that together with her team will ensure that these resolutions are implemented and that there are many big challenges we need to intervene for the benefit of this great profession. Program Director, as I conclude, I urge each one of you to seize this moment. Embrace the opportunity that lie ahead and let our shared vision guide us towards a future where every person is valued, respected, and empowered. Let us stand in solidarity with one another, unite in our shared purpose to build a better future for all. To our social workers, thank you for your tireless effort, and thanks for you being the heart of the soul of transformative change. I wish you everything of the best in this symposium. I trust that the people we serve will greatly benefit from this engagement. I thank you, Ndialebua. Nakens.
Thank you. I serve at the pleasure of the member of the Executive Council. What it means is that on the 29th of May, there will be elections. If she gets re-elected, she may decide that I continue with my job. When I'm given a microphone, I don't play with a microphone. I become reckless to the latter, such that even when you meet me outside, you won't greet me. My learned students, in terms of political protocol, a person who didn't apply for a job, who was voted into office, when she rises to address, because of the political power behind her, we rise. As soon as she finishes, we also rise. I want to but I don't blame you. It needed a person of my caliber to tell you. Is the Union Choir still around? Okay. This is how we are going to chart the way forward. And here, Prof, you'll advise me on the protocol. Hey, I don't want to mess up. Yo. Those who are like Joshua Kwapa, who is the media liaison officer, in Greek, Prof, Well, Vice Chancellor, language is quoted out of it's a disclaimer. In Greek, they say, "Kanti potika druduruka bein." That is my language, meaning that we are hungry, we want to eat. Tea will be served at the Life Center Library. But now, what we are going to do now here, we request all of you to follow the steps of Professor. He will still come and finalize some protocols. Say, I'm not familiar with the protocol. You will have to come. We are going for a photo session. We request that the front table be the first, and Prof will dictate the protocol. Thereafter, as for the political protocol, everybody, all of you, we request that you have a photo with the MEC as she'll be going, TikTok or whatever. The reason is she's building her profile towards the 29th. So she must be accessible to everybody. But with the professor, the professor, read the vote. So you, every one of you, make sure that people outside there must see that she's very social. Greet her, hug her. Where possible, she will even give you money. Lastly, on a serious note, I am a pure traditional vendor boy. I am a pure traditional vendor boy. I want to reiterate. I agree with this title, say, Professor, they speak on your behalf. My title speak on my behalf. I am available until I die. Professor Kabatenge.
What people are doing? I'm told politicians are very good in table manners. When they go to parliament, they keep quiet. Now is the time to talk. Let's talk to them. Announcements. Tea will be served at the Life Sciences Building foyer. Life Sciences, you go out. To your right, there is that building. For VIPs, those who are in front, tea will be served at Health Sciences Building Restaurant, ground floor, western side of this building, or the other side of this building. Takalani Tabo, Wovelemina, where are we taking the photo? We are going to take a group photo just outside the building. Yes. Vice Chancellor and Principal, Dr. Tambelin will come and hand over the gifts. I think Prof. Likalakala also.
Okay. Okay, thanks. Thank you, Program Director. Before we break for a tea break, I want to take this very brief moment just to hand over just a small token from the University of Venda to our guest, much more the MEC of the department in our midst. Thank you so much. So I will be calling over the MEC to come over for us to hand a token of appreciation from the University of Venda. I will be calling next Professor Madaje, who will be followed by the HOD, Ms. Itachile, just to come also. Thank you so much. Thank you, Program Director.
Thank you very much, Vice Chancellor and Principal, Professor Tembeleni. We will go out as Mr. Dali indicated. We'll allow the VIPs to go out through this entrance to take a group photo, and then we'll go for tea. After 30 minutes, we have to come here. Thank you. Let's go out for break. Universal Choir also goes to the foyer, Life Sciences foyer.